Hey y'all, today I have on my anti-status tee, and what more of a perfect time to be an anti-status than now. You can grab one of those in my link below. All right, y'all, so let's go ahead and jump into today's topic. So many of you may have already seen this clip of Rand Paul addressing Dr. Levine, the nominee, Joe Biden's nominee for Assistant Secretary of Health. Some people aren't very happy about his particular line of questioning. Let's go ahead and take a look at this, and then we are going to talk about it.
Specific question was about minors. Let's be a little more specific since you evaded the question. Do you support the government intervening to override the parent's consent to give a child puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and/or amputation surgery of breasts and genitalia? You have said that you're willing to accelerate the protocols for street kids. I'm alarmed that poor kids with no parents who are homeless and distraught, you would just go through this and allow that to happen to a minor. I would hope that you would have compassion for Kira Bell, who's a 23-year-old girl who was confused with her identity. At 14, she read on the internet about something about transsexual. She thought, well, maybe that's what I am. She ended up getting these puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones. She had her breasts amputated. But here's what ultimately she says now. And this is a very insightful decision from someone who made a mistake but was led to believe this was a good thing by the medical community. I made a brash decision as a teenager, as a lot of teenagers do, trying to find confidence and happiness, except now the rest of my life will be negatively affected, she said, adding that the medicalized gender transitioning was a very temporary, superficial fix for a very complex identity issue. What I'm alarmed at is that you're not willing to say absolutely minors shouldn't be making decisions to amputate their breast or to amputate their genitalia. For most of our history, we believe that minors don't have full rights and that parents need to be involved. So I'm alarmed that you won't say with certainty that minors should not have the ability to make the decision to take hormones that will affect them for the rest of their life. Will you make a more firm decision on whether or not minors should be involved in these decisions?
Senator, transgender medicine is a very complex and nuanced field, and if confirmed to the position of Assistant Secretary of Health, I would certainly be pleased to come to your office and to talk with you and your staff about the standards of care and the complexity of this field.
Let it go into the record that the witness refused to answer the question.
All right, y'all, so y'all see that, and I will also share that if you want to go watch the entire video clip of that. But it really has me wondering, at this point, what kind of society are we living in when we are having to debate if children should be transitioning, undergoing a reassignment surgery, or taking hormones? I remember having to be 18 just to be able to get my ears pierced without my parents' permission. And I personally have yet to meet any LGBT person in person that's even okay with this, that's okay with the transitioning of children. Now, I'm not going to try to misrepresent, my experiences of what I know with people as a representation of the entire world, but I do 100% absolutely believe that there is a very small number of radical people that are trying to make us believe that this idea and acceptance of transitioning children is okay with the majority of modern society. And I just do not believe that to be true. Tuesday, when I was doing my live that I do every week, someone in the comments asked me about the idea of radicalization. They asked me, do I think that it is possible for some of these fringe platforms to radicalize people? And my response then and even now is the mainstream media particularly, but even our politicians have been radicalizing people every freaking day. And I personally believe, I truly believe that this is an example of this. At this point, I believe that the media is trying to radicalize people against LGBT people, because it's an idea that majority or most people are okay with the transitioning of children. I just do not believe that to be true. Even this gift that the media has, they're really good about creating these categories of other, right? Throwing a bunch of people in a box to masquerade or try to create these alliances that may not even exist in the way they're presented to us, right? So you have these progressives that'll be so quick to tell you, oh, well, sex and gender, or sexuality and gender is not the same thing. So why do so often we have gay people or the whole LGBT being thrown into these conversations to shield or cover certain sections from being challenged, being pushed back against? The media is really good for this, creating these categories of other. I think they use that as a shield to protect some of these more radical thoughts. And it's very similar to what they've done with Black and Hispanic people, because you can't be Black and talk about the negative impact of illegal immigration on Black people, because we're all others, we're all people of color, we're all in this together. And I see the same thing happening here, and I think this is absolutely being reflected. There was even a survey that talked about this. Fewer millennials accepting of LGBTQ people, study finds. Young people are often assumed to be progressive, especially when it comes to gay rights. But a new study reveals that acceptance of the LGBT community by adults 18 to 34 is falling. You don't think that's a reflection of how some of these things are being characterized in the media? I do. And you have people that are actually mad or concerned with Senator Rand Paul's line of questioning. But my question is why? Why are people not as concerned with why this question is not, or why these things are not being assessed directly? Why could Dr. Levine not answer directly? When we've seen the mainstream narrative media literally in just a few years go from, we just want to love who we want to love, to men are women and women are men and there's 200 genders, to now children should be able to transition. We don't think that the people deserve answers for where this is going, where this is headed? I think they do. But those are my thoughts. Leave your thoughts below. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.